Welcome to the first of a new series called Behind Brawl Stars, where YouTubers talk to Supercell employees and figure out exactly how and why decisions are made in Brawl Stars. It's gonna have different topics varying from how are brawlers made? How are balancing decision made? Why can I never get a legendary? And does Supercell actually listen to the community? And to help us do this, we have on Danny, Supercell Community Manager for Brawl Stars. Welcome to the channel, man, and thank you so much for doing this.
And thank you so much for having me. Yeah, that's idea I had like long time ago because I feel that the community, like I think it's like our fault. Like we are lacking to let them know that we listen to you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to explain how things work behind Brawl Stars, so you guys can understand how the gaming industry is in general. So I guess
that's awesome.
yeah, it's just more like to make a educated opinion when you have like something. And I think like when you know how things work, I think the feedback you can give could be like way more fruitful.
Yeah, I think a lot of game companies don't always give a lot of feedback, so I think it's great to just hear from you guys on really why you guys are making decisions and the stuff that goes behind it, because that's sort of like usually behind closed doors things. So I mean, just first of all, thank you for doing this.
True, thank you. And then even like sometimes like we do like you can see like that we have done something already for the community, and then you can see in the game. But the things that we haven't talked about, like for example, it's a cool suggestion, but then we haven't said anything about that because like we didn't add it to the game. So like, I think we felt that this part of the communication was lacking. So hopefully with this series we'll manage to solve that.
Perfect. So this video is going to be about, do you guys really listen to the community? You know, how are you doing it? And, you know, everything behind that, you know, and maybe even some examples of stuff where community feedback was really taken into place. So, I mean, let's first start off. Are you listening to us at all? You know, where? How are you doing it?
Yeah, I guess the video could be just yes. We are just
okay. That's it.
We are listening. Yeah. But yeah, and also like it's impossible to answer all of you individually. Like, we get way more feedback than we have people here to actually respond.
Right.
Yeah.
Way more of us than there are of you.
True. So then like well, we have me, Ryan, and Frank basically are the ones that are out there.
Okay. You guys are the main people who interact and answer community questions.
Yeah, we have like a support person, but he only deals with like support issues.
Okay.
Yeah, but Ryan, Frank, and I are the.
Where do you guys look for community feedback?
We look basically everywhere. Every channel that we have, like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and even like on another content creator channel.
Okay,
because we know, like for example, you and like Kairos, for example, you guys are doing a lot of content for the competitive players.
Sure.
So we also look for, and of course, like competitive players are on your channel, which means that they're providing feedback there as well.
Okay.
And also, like you guys, also like if you. Every content creator is checking like their own channel. And then when there's a very trending subject, you guys always bring it to us.
Yeah. We have communication with you guys too. We give you feedback as well.
So there's like this filter from you guys that's really cool and makes our lives easier.
Well, feedback is always great. And of course, as you said, there's a lot of times where people maybe give a lot of feedback, and sometimes, you know, you guys act on some stuff, sometimes you don't. But I want to talk about some things like you did act on. I think one of the biggest examples of Supercell adding community stuff into the game, I feel like, is maps. There's so many community-made maps. I mean, what made you guys, you know, want to add community-made maps? And, you know, if anyone wants to do that, you know, where should they be posting?
I think like to be like totally honest, it's because like you guys are better than us on playing Brawl.
Finally, the recognition we deserve.
So like it makes sense that you guys like would create the game you want to play. Like so, for example,
Yeah.
but of course, like we have like to sometimes we veto because like there's
Right.
like some ultra hardcore Brawl Ball maps that you guys like suggested, and then of
Yeah.
course we have to consider that most of our players are casual, and adding like
That's fair.
this one of these maps like to everyone, it's not like only for the competitive player. Then it
Yeah.
could like actually could go south. So
That's fair. And of course, you know,
Yeah.
all these people are making maps and they haven't been able to test them or anything. So sometimes just
Yeah,
do it on
true.
paper, maybe not in game. Another great example, though, I think, and something that I think a lot of people just didn't see coming, one of the biggest campaigns by the community to add something in game was something that was removed, and that's Life Leech. Life Leech, I think maybe 9 or 10 months ago got removed. And, you know, maybe every week or something you would see a post, add back Life Leech, add back Life Leech. But what made you guys, after 9 or 10 months, like actually want to add it back into the game? And do you think it has a chance of coming back?
So yes, I think there's a chance of coming back.
Okay.
Maybe next Halloween. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. That
But,
great, good news.
Yeah. Not promising anything.
Okay.
But also we have like of course like Life Leech still has the problem that it's not intuitive because it's something that changed the core of Brawl Stars.
Right, yeah.
Which is like you start the game, you start losing health, you don't know that like usually players play showdown like kind of strategically, so like they
Yeah.
try to hide, they only try to attack when there's like a good opportunity.
Sure,
Whereas
sure.
in Life Leech you have like to run for the kill, otherwise you die. So
Yeah,
it's
very
like
different. Very different
Yeah.
gameplay wise. And the meta maybe is a kind of stale too. I think that's a common complaint.
Yeah.
Um,
And then of course like let's give like the let's try like we of course we knew that the community was asking for it.
Yeah.
And then we added, and then we saw that the numbers weren't like really making sense with the community feedback. Like of course I think because it was like a OG request, like players that have been playing since beta.
yeah.
So
And I think
yeah.
too, it's just to add on to that, from someone who was one of the bigger advocates for Graveyard Shift, is I feel like the game has changed since it was in there too. So like when it was first in there, it was such a maybe revolutionary thing, and I think teaming was also a much bigger problem then. And you guys have maybe done more things to address that, and I guess it's just also there's all these different brawlers. Like Tick is such an annoying problem in Graveyard Shift, and he wasn't in the game.
I
You
see.
know, back then as well. So, but interesting, you know, always good to see that sort of thing.
Yeah, and also like we tried, we saw the numbers, so then it's like it's not like we don't want to.
Yeah.
Like we just we cannot do something only because a portion of the community, even if this portion is like loud enough or like considerable,
Yeah.
we can't like change the whole game because of that.
Right. No, that's totally fair. So one thing, there's another big community ask, or something the community frequently asks for, are balance changes. Do you look, and I know there's going to be a video like solely on how balance changes are done, but just as a quick aside, do you look at community feedback for balance changes, or is it just purely data driven?
We do, but we are most of the times we're like pretty sync with the community.
Yeah.
So for example, when there's like this huge Reddit petition to buff Crow, like we like it was already
popular.
planned. Yeah.
It was already planned. Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that because like the communities, as I said before, they are the ones that play the game like way better than us.
Yeah.
So we do have like to consider what they're talking about. Like if some hero is like too weak or too strong, or like the Rosa case, whether it's like obviously strong.
Yeah.
But then of course we also have to take a look at data. So like if this brawler has like a huge use rate and a huge win rate,
Yeah.
then we can assume that this brawler is kind of like very strong.
Right. Yeah.
So then it's like it's a bit of both. Like I think there was one case. Well, it's not related to balance, so I will talk.
Okay,
about it
yeah. We
later.
got a video for
Yeah.
that, so we'll save it for that.
Yeah.
And I-
Yeah, we do consider community feedback when we balance the game.
Perfect. Now, one other big area and passionate area of feedback is from the pro players or the competitive community. People really want to play at a high level. You know, do you take that sort of feedback into consideration, or is it more of like a fringe sort of stuff?
We do, and I think a good like example of that is that when we added star points, we actually removed season rewards,
Right.
and then we realized that we weren't giving like enough star points. So then we made
Okay.
easier for the player to get more trophies.
Yeah.
And then this change made like a lot of it kind of changed the leaderboard because it was about grind. Like if you play a lot, then you'll be higher than a pro player, basically, because
Very true.
it's not like really based on skill, but more like how much time you spend playing the game.
Yeah.
And then we realized, yeah, like so leaderboard is not a representation of skill anymore. But then we added power play, which is you have like a restricted number of matches.
Yep.
So then your skill really matters.
That's interesting to hear you guys go through that timeline of, and actually too, just like hearing, you're agreeing with I think what a lot of community thinks too, as far as leaderboard, power play.
And this feedback came from them, like they were saying like leaderboard like doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So then we took that in consideration.
That's awesome. What are some other like good examples where the community feedback really made a difference in the game?
I think like the most obviously important one is like bug reports. You guys report bugs, we fix it.
Like Robo Rumble exploits.
Yeah. Every ticket event there is something tricky that we have to address later on. And then of course like one request that the community has been asking like for not years because the game is not out that long, but it was community skins.
Yeah.
And then we added Supercell Make, which like the decision of adding the skin is on the player because they will vote for the ones they would like to see.
That's right. So I do have some more questions about Supercell Make, and I think a lot of other people do too.
Go ahead.
Is it going to straight up be like the most upvoted skins, or are you guys going to more handpick what skins are chosen?
That's a really good question. Like, of course, like the voting will like, it's a great indicator that if the skin is good or not, because you can see there is some like very crazy ones.
Yes.
Not the other words.
You could have a troll skin.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprising.
But then like, for example, like Jetcore is like so popular in the community that would be crazy if we wouldn't have like a Jetcore skin brought by Make.
All right, you heard it here first.
No, I'm not promising.
No, I know.
But yeah, it's voting plus if it's everything fine with the skin, if not trolling or anything. Yeah, and another one interesting case that we the community were asking like for to Brawl to have its own slot.
Right, and that was a big ask.
Yeah, and that it was a thing that came from the community because from data like we weren't pay attention or anything, but then the community brought this feedback, and then we started looking at data, and then we saw when Brawl is on, then we can see like this spike, and then we can see that more players play Brawl, and currently is one of most played games, 3v3 games.
Yeah.
Still showdown.
That's interesting to see because I mean I guess that's probably fair with a lot of things. Maybe there's like some data to back it up, but it's not obvious.
Yeah.
And then the community can really bring that to the forefront.
Exactly. Yeah. So you guys are great on bringing stuff up.
We definitely do it a lot. That's for sure. All right. So there's been some great examples about how community feedback has really impacted, stuff in game that's like currently going on. But is there also a big impact from the community for like future stuff in Brawl Stars as well?
Yeah, I guess so. Like I would say that our team, like when we are developing the game, we are pretty much reactive. We are always listening to what you guys are saying. And like, for example, balance changes we can't do without knowing how our previous balance is performing. We can't plan like 2 balance changes ahead because we need to know how the current one is working. Yeah. And that's on like, of course, like there is data backup, but to to back it up, but it's mostly how you guys feel about it. And one last thing, like of course, like we can't attend all the community requests, and we try to explain some of them. Like for example, when people are saying like they should have like skin portraits in the game, we should. I think like how can I say that's a bad idea? Of course it's fun. Of course it'd be cool,
Right.
but it will take time like from artists, and it will make the game bigger.
Yeah.
So
You'd rather do different things. Not that it's a bad idea.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not that it's a bad idea. It's just like it couldn't be our priority at the moment. And
Fair enough.
but yeah, we also like it's not like also 100% community driven.
Yeah.
And of course, like we do believe, we do believe that we have good ideas, and that's why Brawl is so fun. So
you guys didn't make the game.
yeah. So we try to like keep like this creativity freedom for us as well. So we don't feel the pressure that we have like to attend the community in every aspect. So
I think that's a good idea. Personally, you're the professionals. We're just the armchair warriors.
Well, you're the professional players.
Wow.
So it's a
Maybe.
balance. It's a balance. Yeah.
Fair enough. We're gonna cover common questions like, when is Brawl Talk in the next Behind Brawl Stars? That one's gonna be on Orc's channel. But Danny, thank you so much for coming on my channel and for doing this in the first place.
And thank you a lot for having me. And also, like, if you guys have any topic that you would like to see in this new series, please just write on the comments down below.
Perfect. All right, guys, though, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you later.